as
So
I've been
over to you, Tom.
reporting, yeah,
Breaking news.
they've been courting hardcore James Gunn, as I've been hearing, and I guess he finally broke down and took the job.
Wow.
Industry
This is
veterans
huge.
Wow.
Industry
Huge.
veterans James Gunn and Peter Safran have been appointed to the new roles of co-chairman of chief executive officers of DC Studios. As Script Doctor and I have been saying for a long time, that's what they need. They need a studio overseeing the overall creative direction of the DC universe across film, television, and animation under a single banner. Gunn and Safran will report to David Zaslav, president and
Direct.
chief executive officer of Warner Brothers. Exactly. In their roles.
What a pimp. What a pimp.
Right? In their roles, Gunn and Safran will spearhead the development and execution of a long-term plan for many properties licensed from DC Comics, focused on continuing the tradition of high-quality storytelling for the DC universe across audio-visual media, while building a sustainable growth business out of the iconic franchises. Well, I guess they must have liked his Superman pitch. Because I think that's what got Cavill to sign on anyway. But yeah, it's just a bunch of fluff from there. But man, this is I didn't expect this announcement until December, and I really wasn't quite sure if Gunn would take the job or not.
I am really surprised that he has. I am really surprised that he has.
Well, Safran has been producing hits since the 90s.
Yeah, he makes sense.
And
He's worked on The Conjuring.
it's a great balance.
Yeah.
This is a fantastic balance, and Safran is proven hit after hit. You know, and this is exciting.
I heard rumors that Ben Affleck signed on for 3 Batman films. Also, I wonder if
That's very
true,
plausible.
and if this has anything to do with that. And
'Cause,
also,
yeah.
what does this mean for Guardians of the Galaxy with James Gunn? And
He's done.
Marvel.
He said that. He said
Okay.
after the third one is done, he's done. He's doing the Christmas special, which ironically we just got a trailer for today.
Yeah.
And then as soon as part 3's done, and I think he's already done filming all of it and everything like that, as far as I know. So I think he shot the Christmas special after he shot the movie, as far as I remember. I could be wrong, but
I don't know what I don't know what to make of this. Do we think this is really good news or not? James Gunn can be really hit or miss. You know, I hear very, very good things about Peacemaker, but I wasn't a huge fan of the Suicide Squad. I'm not going to lie. I wasn't a huge fan of it. It was fine.
Yeah, same here.
But, you know, is Peacemaker, you know, a good enough sign of things to come? Like, what do you guys think? Do you think this is really good news or not?
I guess it was a big deal for HBO Max. It did really well for them, from my understanding. Again, I understand where you're coming from, Mr. H. Like, a part of me is a bit like, let's wait and see, because I loved the new Suicide Squad, but I understand you didn't, and I know, and I can see why a lot of people don't, because James Gunn is one of those guys where he makes oddball movies. Not a lot of his films are like Guardians of the Galaxy, and I'm sure you've seen Super, and you know what I'm talking about, where, you know, it's not, I could see somebody like saying, oh, that movie was just dark as fuck, and another person going, it was hilarious, right? It just all depends on your sense of humor and who you are, and James Gunn is one of those kind of guys. I think he's got an interesting take on things, and I'm curious to see where he goes with this. And Peter Safran, he's got a bit of a pedigree too, like Paulie was pointing out. So, and they've worked together in the past.
Let me add to Tom. Peter Safran executive produced Blue Beetle, Shazam's, all the Conjuring
Stuff. And that's the thing, people overlook when we talk about IP and franchise. People always overlook the Conjuring. They have what, 8, 9, 10 films already now in the
past 10 years is the most successful franchise.
It's one of the most successful franchises, right next to Marvel, and people just forget it that it's a franchise.
Well, it's also because they can make them on the cheap, and they take in loads. Like, it's horror. Horror can be made cheap,
right,
and can be taken. And you know, if it does well, you make incredible sums in profit.
Yep.
I think one of the more positive things about this is that they are, you know, this is DC Studios. They are the heads of DC Studios. So whatever you think, I guess, of James Gunn and, you know, creatively speaking, it's not necessarily that he will be on board on a creative level day to day directing, right? So, I guess that takes my sort of wariness from the situation with James Gunn, because again, he's quite hit or miss. With when you either like his movies or you hate them, dependent on each one and how the tone is. So I think that's pretty good, actually, to be fair.
Yeah, I was actually just thinking that same thing about with him taking this position. Where's that leave him creatively speaking on the movies moving forward? Is he going to have any kind of creative control over these, or is he just going to put people in place that's going to be the creatives, and then he's going to either green light it or
they're
not,
CEOs, aren't they? CEOs and CFOs, was it? What was it? Tom?
Co-chairman and CEOs.
Yep.
Co-chairman.
Yeah. Co-chairman and CEOs. Yep.
So
basically, they'll be deciding which movies will be happening, who's directing them, which direction the stories will be going in. But like you said, they'll be picking other directions, and that goes along with what I was kind of being insinuated to me, was that they were figuring that, because at first I had heard that they were bringing James in to pitch a Superman idea, and he had come in and pitched something else instead. And the discussion I'd had with this individual, we both kind of came to the same place of chances are he'll produce a Superman movie, maybe co-write it, but he won't want to direct it. See, that's what this goes in line with, right? That is what he's basically doing, but on a massive level, right? Okay, fine. He's going to decide going forward, this is the person who's going to do Superman. So I'm sorry to say this, kids. This is what I was telling you about the whole Snyderverse thing. Chances are he's done. He is done. He's gone. He's off doing his own thing. So yeah.
Let me talk about Safran for a minute as well, which I think in the long run, with the cachet he's built up with talent in front of him behind the camera, it's undeniable. From handling huge stars as a manager in the '90s, J-Lo, Brad Pitt, running that to elevating himself, and yeah, he's kind of produced some clunkers, but you can see his gradual progression over like the last 25 years. It's pretty incredible, and he's got a really good reputation. So this is
I think this is good news for DC.
Great news for them.
Yeah.
And he knows
just simply having a studio. Sorry to cut you off. Literally, just having studios is good. Just having DC Studios, people in charge, report to just that structure, that streamlined structure. I think is the biggest.
Yeah, I think it's it's definitely a huge breath of fresh air. It's exciting. Safran, and it just is like, again, it's professional pedigree. Let's see what they can produce, man. Now it's like it's on.
Yeah. Well, let's bring another guest on today, ladies and gents. We are spoiled here. You are spoiled here in the chat, in the audience watching this as well. But we've got Valiant Renegade. What's your opinion on this, good sir? Because this news literally just broke.
I'm assuming, and I just flipped on. I'm guessing we're talking about the whole Zaslav thing and the new streamline of
DC
everything.
James Gunn.
James Gunn news.
Safran.
Holy crap!
No,
Did
I
you
have
hear
not.
that, Valiant?
I just finished an appointment with some clients before I jumped on. I told Nate earlier, I said I'll probably be coming in. I won't have too much time, so no, I have not seen this. So the James Gunn thing is official now. I'd heard some talk.
Well, yeah, as I've been saying, they've been, as my guy said, they wine dined and 69'd him, and they are hoping he's going to take the job, and it looks like he did, along with Peter Safran.
Well,
so
that's amazing.
Peter Safran and James Gunn are co-chairman CEOs of DC Studios, and I guess the streamlined structure now.
Well, look, that's good news. I mean, I guess to be fair, that'll be good news. Time will tell. But I mean, I guess you can't get much worse than Walter Hamada at this point, considering all of the opportunities squandered there in the last few years. So,
massively so.
Good Lord. But yeah, I know y'all. I heard y'all talking about Peacemaker as I jumped in, so I guess that's why. But yeah, I mean, that was a great show. Now, can Gunn really make a serious saga? I know we don't want everything to be silly joke stuff. We also don't want everything to be just gloomy and dark. It's got to be kind of somewhere with a happy middle ground here.
Well, the thing is, he doesn't have to. He's just effectively he's I mean, he's just approving directors. He's approving stories. He's not actually writing them. He's not actually directing them. So on that basis, that's quite good. To be fair, isn't it? If you're looking at
I think you're right. I'm assuming he's going to have a role that's going to be very similar, if not completely parallel to what you'd think of a Kevin Feige having, where he's kind of the overall architect of things. I mean, I'm sure he's going to want to hire writers and directors that are going to fit whatever stylistic vision he has going forward for this 10-year plan that Zaslav alluded to during the last earnings call, which, by the way, I guess I'm not surprised by this timing, because my plan is, as of now, and I wish they hadn't moved the schedule. Last couple times, Warner Brothers had their earnings call in the afternoon. This next one is going to be at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time next week. I think it's on the 3rd. So I'm going to try to cover that live because the last one was very interesting. I think this one will be at least equally as interesting. There's going to be a lot more for Zaz to talk about here than even last time, and especially with, again, last one was, hey, we have a 10-year plan, we're putting it together. Of course, he didn't say anything about Walter Hamada 3 months ago, which wasn't a surprise, but I think everybody kind of knew he was on his way out. Now he's out. Now they got a replacement. So I'm interested to see if not even during the earnings call itself, but during the question and answer session, just like last time, one of the analysts from one of the big banks is almost assuredly going to bring up, okay, new guy in the house, what's the plan with DC? It'll be interesting to hear the response.